हुए लम्हों की बहुत याद सताए। ऐ काश मैं गुंबदे खजरा कम की हूँ और मदीने वाले मुझको कहें मुकामी।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलामु अला रसूलिल्लाह व अला आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमाइन अम्मा बाद। Allah Jalla Majduhu loves His Zaat and Sifat and attributes, and He Azza wa Jal created Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to reflect those blessed attributes, and He reflected that in His blessed character. And the person who most reflected the attributes of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Fanafir Rasool, extinct meaning annihilated in the will, in the obedience, in the ita'ah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. And we all are witness that what happened to him, that when he spent his wealth or he left his own volition and own will, did he lose anything? No, but rather he gained everything and more than everyone. So there is a great lesson for us that we should also not fear and doubt, because when any command of the Prophet ﷺ, any way comes, a person thinks and he weighs his profit and loss. This is a personality. You should not weigh your profit and loss, because there is only profit in him. There is only benefit in him and what he gives. Temporarily, a person might suffer a setback, but finally he will be the victorious one. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu's whole life was a reflection of that, and he conveyed to others by his practice and deed. And many of his wise sayings are today also a beacon of light for others. One of the things which he learned from the Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Run away from fame so that dignity and honor may follow you." So what we do normally is that when a person wants honor and fame and dignity, what we do is we run towards fame. Now he is saying the opposite. He's saying that run away from fame if you want dignity. If dignity will and honor will follow you. तो फरमाया सैयदना अबू बकर सिद्दीक़ रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु कि अगर आखिरत दुनिया में इज्जत चाहते हो और आखिरत और दुनिया में मशहूर होना चाहते हो, तो मशहूरी से और शोहरत से दूर भागो, तो तुम्हारे पीछे पीछे इज्जत और इकराम आएगा। हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम मशहूरी के पीछे, इज्जत के पीछे भाग रहे हैं, वो भी नहीं मिलती, और जो है वो भी यानी अपना भी नुकसान। And then he radiallahu anhu, he also mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with a servant whose words do not extend to acts. So he's asking that yes, Many of us are very good in words of saying and speaking, but he says if the words do not extend to actions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not become pleased with the person. फरमाया अल्लाह जल्ल मजदूहू उस बंदे से खुश नहीं होता कि जो सिर्फ लफ्ज़ों की और अल्फाज की हद तक नेकी रहती है और उसके अमल तक नहीं पहुँचता। अल्लाह पाक उससे खुश होता है कि जिसकी नेकी अल्फाज से अमल तक पहुँच जाए। So if your good words extend to the actions, then it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by His fazl become pleased. Otherwise, so he was admonishing people that just speaking good is not enough. Now you should also live goodness as well. And then he also mentioned, the more one speaks, the more forgetful one becomes. The more one speaks, the more. So many people say that we forget things so it's mostly, sometimes the reason is that they speak too much. And when you speak too much, obviously you won't remember what you were saying and what you've said. So one of the ways to actually attain wisdom and to preserve your memory is to speak less. You will speak less, you will make less mistakes. And then here radiallahu anhu also said that make your true state known to the one who wants to guide you to the right path. Make your true state known to the one who wants to guide you to the right path. So it means that if you want guidance in the right path, then mention whatever is your state, whatever are your thoughts, whatever is your mind, whatever is your condition. Because it's like when you go to a doctor, if you do not show him your true illness and true suffering, what will happen? How will you be treated? So similarly, if you want shifa spiritually, just present it fully, your self-state. He said, make your true state known to the one who wants to guide you to the right path. Otherwise, you will delude yourself. Otherwise, you are just deceiving yourself. You are not doing any harm to the doctor. So if you go to the doctor and you have some rash or infection here on the arm, and you don't show him, and you just say, I have infection, please give me some medicine. Yes, it's fine. But you don't show him really what type of it is, what's the condition. And so what harm have you done to the doctor? You deluded yourself only, because if it develops and then changes into cancer or something, who will be harmed? Yourself. So he said, at least when you want actually guidance, make your true state known. It's like if you want to be guided towards Manchester, and at least tell the person where you are now. Tell him you are in Bolton. Don't tell him you are in Hyde or you are actually in Preston. If you tell him you're Preston, then he's going to guide you according to from Preston. So you might end up on the wrong side. And then he, radiallahu anhu, also said, corruption, fasad, and contamination and wrong and corruption on the face of the earth, he said, it comes when faith is found only in mosques and masjids. फरमाया कि दुनिया में फसाद हो जाएगा कि जब ईमान और नेक अमाल सिर्फ मस्जिद में पाए जाते हैं, and outside everyone's doing whatever they want. He said then the world will become corrupt when good deeds and good speeches and majalis of zikr are only in mosque. Outside everyone's doing whatever they want, then there will be no doubt there will be corruption on the face of the earth. And that is the state now. People come and pray, they are very devotional, very sincere, but when they outside they go, they do their business, their work, with their families, with their friends, they just follow whatever they want. He said then there will be corruption appearing. So corruption comes when faith is found in the mosques, masjids, wealth with the misers. People who do not want to spend, who fear spending, Actually, the wealth is the might. Obviously, corruption, when the rulers and others, they don't spend wealth actually, that people will loot, people will actually go to extreme robbery and all other things, actually corruption will come. Why? Because the wealthy people, they are actually just confiscating and actually defrauding and keeping the wealth actually away. So obviously they will have to eat and drink, so they will use unlawful means. That's why Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu, as you know, in Islam it's a harsh punishment if someone robs, like a highway robber or something, or robs a house, his hand can be mutilated and cut. But when a famine came and the government of his could not provide enough food, he suspended that punishment. He said, if I don't provide people with enough food, then I have no right to punish them, actually, if they steal. So he radiallahu anhu said, corruption comes with when the faith, iman is found in the masjid. Outside people are just doing whatever they like. Wealth with misers, weapons with cowards. People have weapons, but actually they are cowards. They can't actually use weapons with cowards, meaning they actually, like many of the governments, they know wrongs are happening, and they can defend. So when the strong does not defend the weak and oppressed, then there will be corruption, and people will be doing zulm upon each other. And fourth thing he said, the corruption comes when the authority and the government will be with fools, meaning actually that those people who only think about themselves. Fool is who only thinks about his own benefit, actually of this worldly benefit. That is person known as fool. And the wise is the person who thinks long term, what will I gain after death? What will happen to me after death? And he thinks in a long term way. So fool, in the terminology of actually, some of the fools are those who only think about themselves and their immediate benefit. It is foolishness actually. Like a druggie who only thinks about his own pleasure and his immediate pleasure. And he's a fool because he is army. So if you only think about this world and your own benefit, you're a fool. But if you think of the next world and also the benefit of others, you will become wise. And finally, last thing which I'll mention and we finish. He said, doing people favors, helping people in distress and in need, doing people favors saves one from catastrophes and misfortunes. So if a person wants himself to be safe from catastrophe and misfortune, he should keep helping actually people wherever actually he has this opportunity. And many others actually, alhamdulillah, he mentioned. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us also to become the example of actually following Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, because they lived for a short while. He only lived for 2 years really after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But imagine what he had attained. Rest of his life he spent before. That time Prophet Islam was actually physically alive, but he only lived 2 years after. But imagine, so this means actually it's a small investment and very big actually profit which one can gain. Allah Pak mujhe bhi aapko bhi tawfiq ata farmaye. Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. السلام عليك يا شفيع المذنبين. السلام عليك يا شفيع المذنبين. السلام عليك يا رحمة للعالمين. السلام عليك يا رحمة للعالمين. السلام عليك يا خاتم النبيين. السلام عليك يا خاتم النبيين وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب رب العالمين. السلام عليك أيها النبي. السلام عليك أيها النبي. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Ya Rabbal Alameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, enable us also to become your true worshipper, your true lover and true follower and lover of your Prophet and Messenger and Master Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Enable us to become the true emulation of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu and all the companions and of Ahlul Bayt. Ya Rabbal Alameen, bless this plea with more high status, although they don't need our prayers. The Prophet already have given them the glad tidings of Jannah and the entering Jannah from the 8 doors of Jannah. But still there is no limit to your closeness. We beseech you to grant him more ma'rifah and closeness of yours. And grant us his shafa'ah on the day of judgment and his fairs and fayuzat actually to us in this world, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Bless all the Muslims in this world. Bless all the kuffar with the light of Iman and faith, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Enable us to live by Islam, die with Iman, resurrected with the pious. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima. Ya Arhamar Rahimin. MashaAllah. Jazakallah.